Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features the brand new Canadian Tier 7 Premium Destroyer Huron. Now the Huron will be a free premium that you can pick up in the Puerto Rico dockyard, which starts in update 11.7. Now as I stated, this will be a free ship. You can attain the Huron by completing stage 25 of the Puerto Rico dockyard. So it's not necessary to actually buy any starter packs or buy any stages. You can get this ship 100% for free. So as stated, this is the Huron, a tribal class destroyer built for the Canadian Royal Navy. But unlike the British ships of the series, which entered service before World War II, Huron received enhanced anti-aircraft armament at the expense of one of her main battery gun mounts. So before we go through this ship in detail, let me quickly put up the build I'm using here in this game. You can see I'm using main armaments mod 1, engine room protection, aiming systems mod 1, and steering gears. And the captain build you can see here on screen. I've marked the order in red that I would train first. So I'm going to start with the consumables. Huron gets access to the engine boost, which is an 8% boost and lasts for 120 seconds, so 2 minutes. The hydroacoustic search can detect torpedoes at 3 kilometers and enemy ships at 4 kilometers. And Huron gets a very useful repair party at tier 7 that can repair 217 hit points per second and has a 10-second action time, maximum of 3 charges with this build. Armor layout is pretty basic. You get a fore end plating of 16mm, the side plating and the main deck is 19mm, and the aft end plating is 16, while the superstructure plating is just 10mm. The gun mounts are very lightly armoured. They get all-round protection of just 6mm on these gun turrets. This ties into the ship's survivability. Huron gets, with this build, 18,150 hit points. Now this is greatly reinforced by having access to these 3 repair parties. So it must be noted, after going through those consumables, the Huron has no smoke generator. So you are going to be open water gunboating in the Huron quite a bit. In terms of artillery, Huron gets 6 120mm gun barrels in 3 twin-mounted turrets. These have a 4-second reload time. Turret traverse is a little bit slow at 15.7 seconds to rotate 180 degrees. The max dispersion on these guns is 100 meters. The max firing range is 12.3 kilometers. And these guns fire both high explosive and armor piercing shells. The high explosive, they can inflict a max alpha damage of 1600, 6% fire chance, that is using both signal flags. They can pen 20mm of armor and have a shell speed of 808 meters per second. Now the armor piercing does slightly more damage at 2100 and has the exact same shell speed of 808 meters per second. Now these, while faced with an opponent coming towards you, feel quite reliable, but when chasing targets, especially kiting destroyers, they can feel a little bit floaty, and it can prove difficult to land hits reliably on target, especially against kiting targets. Now, unusually, the Huron also gets secondary armament with 1 twin-mounted turret on the rear, 102mm. These 2 guns have a 3-second reload, a max firing range of 4.2 kilometers, firing high explosive shells that cause a max damage of 1500. Now, unusually, these have a higher fire chance of 7%, but less penetration at 17mm, and also a faster shell speed of 811 meters per second. So the ballistics and firepower on the secondaries are actually stronger than the main battery. Huron also gets access to torpedoes, one torpedo launcher, one X4 with a torpedo range of 8 kilometers. These torpedoes have a reload time of 96 seconds. They can inflict a max damage of 16,767, 62 knots of speed, and these torpedoes can be detected in the water at 1.4 kilometers.
The ship is on fire.
Huron also gets an extensive anti-submarine warfare capability, depth charge rating of 59, 2 charges with 9 bombs per charge, and these depth charges have a max damage of 5,000, and these depth charges have a reload time of 40 seconds. Moving to the AA defense, so unlike the British tribal class, Huron gets additional AA at the cost of one of its main battery gun turrets, 6 twin-mounted Oerlikons 20mm, one X4 40mm, and the secondary battery also doubles up as AA, this 102mm gun turret. All combined, they pump out a continuous average damage of 79, the vast majority of which is short-range damage. Fires just one shell explosion per flak salvo, and it has a max damage of 1190, and the max firing range of these AA guns is 5.8 kilometers. In terms of maneuverability, Huron gets a max speed of 38.3 knots. This is using the Sierra Mike signal flag. Base speed is 36.5. Now remember, you also get access to the engine boost consumable, which gives you an additional 8%. Turning circle radius of 630 meters per second, and a rudder shift time with this build of 3 seconds. So finally, stats wise, we come to the Huron's concealment rating of 94, which equates to a surface detection range of 6.2 kilometers, and you'll be detected by enemy aircraft and submarines at 2.7 kilometers. So that's the stats of the Huron in a nutshell. It's open water, running and gunning. I did find this ship to be quite reliable. The repair party at tier 7 on any destroyer is usually and feels quite powerful. It gives you the ability to get into crazy fights, still come out and be able to have an impact on games, which is usually quite necessary at tier 7, considering the amount of times you will be actually forced to fight against tier 9 opponents. Now, I chose this game. I was playing with another CC, Angel Plays. We were both playing in the Huron, and we managed to come out on top in a very tough fight against mainly tier 9 ships. So as stated, this will be a free ship in the upcoming Dockyard event, the Puerto Rico Dockyard. So I hope you enjoy this gameplay. If you'd like to see some more live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all.
cruiser sunk.
Engine boost activated. Torpedoes to port. Torpedoes, direct front.
Enemy cruiser detected.
Engine boost deactivated. Torpedoes to starboard.
Our victory is in sight.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Good game, everyone.
I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.